Malcolm Tal. Vafilu Malcolm Shir Tzrichum Geshem B'Yom Zacham. We've been in a place where you need rain in the summer. In Hiska Geshem Malcolm Tal. If you mention Geshem in a place where you're supposed to say Tal, Machzir unless you make him repeat. Do we do this? Yeah, that was yesterday. Today, Im B'Yom Rishon Shel Pesach. Upon the first day of Pesach, Omer Brachas Atzagibur. You said the bracha of Atzagibur. Add more to tell, until more to tell. Tishim Pam. You did this 90 times. Can I get Shloshim Yom to in comparison like commensurate to 30 days? Shomer also Shalosh Pam B'Chol Yom. You say it 3 times a day. Misham ve'elech im elu zocher im his geshem. If he doesn't remember, from then onwards, if he doesn't remember if he said geshem or not, harihu b'chazka shlo. His is on an assumption that he didn't mention it. Geshem ve'enu tzarach l'chazvi, doesn't have to repeat. Haga. V'chein done similar according to it. For us, im Amar ad machal kachayim. If you say just until machal kachayim, below masharuch, just making sure not to say masharuch of those 90 times. Umay de geshem, shemachzirim b'kiyom geshem, which you mentioned in the winter. V'chein im Amar b'shmini atzeres, and similarly you say by shmini atzeres, tishim pamim ata gibor ad mori de geshem. You say ata gibor until you add mori de geshem. If you have a suffix afterwards, you mentioned it or not. The assumption is that you did mention it. This is the Yasma, meaning himself. Berura Atagibur. The bracha of Atagibur. Sefer Shulchan Shlomo. From the cause of the Sefer Shulchan Shlomo writes, the Yaskol men Mechayim Mesim. You start from Mechayim Mesim. Ata below min Gibor. Loman Atagibur. You shouldn't start from Atagibur. Start from Mechayim Mesim. Ata Rav and not Atagibur Hashem Lekenu. Shlo Yomer Hashem Levatal. You shouldn't say Hashem's name for Levatal. The Im Yabu Lashana says Kars Hashem. And if you're going to come to change the mention of Hashem, you're not going to say it. His full name is going to change to Hashem. Nacho Shiyabu Lashana Skachkach Mnei Shiyah Hargil Gam Betfila. So you can be concerned that you'll come afterwards to change it because of the custom, even in prayer. You'll change it also say Hashem and David. I'm ready to tell you in someone's house. And the ad b'chol included you have to. It's included more to tell. Okay. Behind the livnei svar, that it means for the svardim. Shenogim the haskir tal b'yom zakam, they mentioned tal in the summer. According to us, it's you go until makal kakayim, and it's included makal kakayim. We could look at Magaz, we're going to say later, it says later on in the Magaz. The Tom goes out, the reason for all this, the Bezesh Kavar Hugel Lishono Lomber Halachos, this is already mentioned, trains his name, his language, to say it properly. Al Kain Hu Adin Lani and Shayla. Therefore, the same thing would be in regards to asking a question. In Amr Tishim Pamim, in regards to asking in Bar Chalenu, Chavta says this one the Eli Rabbah. Im Omer Tishim Pamim Berura Shashon. If you say 90 times Berura Shashon, add after Teva, the same berach until after the Teva, the same berach will be Yom Zechama in the summer. Or what after Teva, so until after the letter Saint Talumat, the berach will be Yom Zechama, or until after Saint Talumat in the winter. That's enough. V'lo Yaskel Metchilas Berach Aleinu. You shouldn't start from the beginning of Berach Aleinu. Rak V'at Ves Kominis Buasel. You just start Ves Kominis Buasel. Say it 90 times. Okay. Tishim Pamim 90 times. Ubeshuva Sachasam Sober Cholak Chelik or Achaim. The Chuba comes from Sober in the portion of Achaim. Simon Kaf. More Ubal Lechat. He rules and comes to Lechatchila Omer Me'apam. You should Lechatchila say it 100 times. Be'achad 101 times. On the B'diavad Mishra Omer Rak Tishim Pamim. The B'diavad, someone who just said it 90 times. Evi Adenu Lefsok. She asked to be. Probably it's not in our hands that we can go and pass and she go repeat. Negative Psak of Shulchan Aruch against the Psak of Shulchan Aruch. But the Chatchila should do 101. Harihu. The im horgo b'lashonom. If it's a custom in his mouth when he says them separately. Kabachom b'tzufim for sure when he says them. Yeah. When he says them in ritzufim, in order. When he says these words in order of the prayer. Because of the Shabbat was right. Shem Hargel Asmo Arbaim Chamesh Pam. If he requests himself 45 times, Shem Keneg Chamishim also Yom, which is commensurate to 15 days. Misha Avru Afrika Chamish also Yom because of Shem Kogan. After you pass 15 days, then it's assumption you said it properly. And Makal Kachaim, you go until Makal Kachaim, but Abachal included is you have to say Makal Kachaim. The Imkain, and if so, Shin Nizragul Lashon Lom is custom his language to say Rav Lishir Makal Kachaim, Rav Lishir Makal Kachaim together. Yishkol Gamal Al Ramaz. Those that are arguing about this. This is from the Shlomo and the Eli Rabbah. The smoke al. It's probably that you shouldn't be concerned. You should be concerned the chachila not to rely on this. King goes with the Chaim says the Chaim b'chayal l'mash given chayal l'mash this way says you could rely on this. Ad Moed Geshem until Moed Geshem Ad B'chal and Moed Geshem is included. You have to say in the winter time you have to say Moed Geshem. Back in the Shulchan Aruch, most Adam in Behema he havinas levasekel because the extraness of a man, what makes man better than an animal, is the understanding and the mind or the discernment. Kamu brachos atachon. They set up atachon and brosh them. So it's the beginning of the middle one. Shim ein bina ein tefillah because there's no understanding. There's no prayer. Rosh lem soyim. Otam al seder brachos. The further reason for this order, the brachos because besefer seder yom. It says in seder in the book of Sefer Yom. Atachonin is you first put Atachonin Rishon. Sheila v'chachmu v'adas v'adam is a request for knowledge and understanding and in man. The belav halchi tobi menu and efol. That without him is better than someone who was stillborn if he doesn't have any brains. Therefore you have to intend with it proper when you do it. This is the main request that the person has to ask from Hashem. Yosher, and the most berura of Korbatov, that he should give him a seichel, discernment, and knowledge, proper, straight knowledge. The most berura to hate bad, will of Korbatov to choose good. Hashivenu le'achar le'achar hadas. You put Hashivenu after at the chonin. Kimitoch hadas nosin libo al chato. Because in the midst of the fact that he has now brains, he's going to put his heart to his sins. The intent of this bracha is that he should lower him and they should bring him, humble him and lower him, the haughtiness of his heart. Slach lanu achar tshuva, you put slach lanu after tshuva. So shi'alol alibo hachatoyim sha'al b'shem shu'atzmi, to raise up in his heart the sins or the rebelliousness that he, that he did to himself. Rifa'enu, and the Rifa'enu heal us. Refuah achar gula, you put refuah after redemption. Shekol zman she'adam b'tzad, and as long as the person is in pain, in a woman me'alchelu, he doesn't stand up from his sickness. Be'ikar kavan levakish me'is alkeinu, and the main intent is to ask from Hashem. Sheir bo son of kadesh yaniya b'riyam v'chazakim lasik b'torah, that he should heal us in order to be healthy and strong to do well in Torah, koroi properly with the shmorim as mitzvahs and to guard all the mitzvahs. Birchos of parnasa, the request for parnasa, achar refuah, you put that after refuah. Shekesha adam chola az einam b'vakish el hamazon. When a person's sick, he doesn't ask for food. Avol But if he's been healed, and also he searches after his food and once he's healed. The Chazir will have very guful enough in order to go after and to healthy his body and his soul. But she has been Lanu Hashem Yisrach, and she has to intend that Hashem should prepare for us our sustenance for in calmly and not with pain. With heter and not with isser. Adam of Dilan v'bracha. This that we make make a separation in this bracha. Lefishu who this will make Abdullah in Atachoine. Lefishu who achachmas sha'adam avdul bein dam l'davar, because this is wisdom that a man makes a separation between one thing and another. L'chein kavu v'virachas hakacham, therefore they set it up in the bracha of kacham. V'ramaz l'davar, and a hint of the matter is bina roshi tevas b'samim yain ner Abdullah. The bina has the roshi tevas, the first letters of each word make up the word bina, is besamim yain ner and Abdullah. Kosa b'Torah, the Torah says, "Mash tiknu lomer avinu beberachas hashivenu." So we said to say avinu in the bracha of hashivenu. U'b'slach lanu masha inkein and b'shlach lanu. Masha inkein b'shar brachas. Don't say other brachas. We don't say avinu. Hainu time b'shanu maskirin l'fanav sha'av chayav l'mod imaben. That we mentioned to in front of him that the father is obligated in front of Hashem. That the father is obligated to learn with the son, and therefore he should teach us to be humble. Because it says you should return to Hashem and he will have mercy on you. Therefore we mention the mercy of the father on the son. Look at the Eli Rabbi, maybe Deus that brings opinions. Some say you have to say and not say v'chanenu. Because it's the start of a request. So you don't say v'chanenu. And you bestow from us. No, you're supposed to say chanenu, bestow on us, not and you bestowed. Some say you do have to say v'chanenu, look there. Okay, back in the Shulchan Aruch. Hashem should heal us, and Hashem we will be healed. Even though the pasuk, which is written for a single person, you can't change it and make a nickname for it for plural, for the public. That's a rule. This is only when you intend Likros to read the pasuk. The field when you're saying it for a prayer, but or for a request, then it's mutter. Still, if you said a full mizmor, also the shanas milashon yachid v'ram, you can't change it from yachid ram or the other way, but just one pasuk is fine. Okay. Tor v'rosh perak hakoyre omed b'shem Rav Rabbeinu Yonah. So Torah in the Russian and the Parakor in the name of the Rav Rabbeinu Yonah. Rafa'inu, in the Mishnah Berurah. Lo yom Rafa'inu Hashem Elokeinu v'niraf. You shouldn't say Rafa'inu Hashem our God and we should be healed. Don't say that whole thing. This is from the Achronim. Ki lishna dekrahu kach, because the language of the pasuk is this way. Rafa'ini Hashem v'niraf. Heal me Hashem and I will be healed. Zorach lomer choli b'tzeri. You have to say chole with a tzeri on the Lamed. This is from the Teres Tekanim of the Sharach Onim. Yisham Shlo Yom Re'ena V'Yanenu. Some say that you shouldn't say Re'ena V'Yanenu, Rak Re'e V'Yanenu, but just say Re'e V'Yanenu. Aval Magen Ram Ve'eli Rabba Shara Gedolim Kosva She'en Lezos Min HaMinuk. But the Eli Rabba and the other Gedolim, right, you shouldn't change the Minuk. Shom Re'ena V'Yanenu, which is say Re'ena V'Yanenu. Em Mechanen, you can't change it to a different length from singular to plural. Within Shashino, simply any other change from a pasuk you can't do. This is from Ricky Vega Rishem Tzlach. Hagon Medaber Be Ba'adov, for example, change from Medaber like about him, the Medaber and Venochach, to change it to a different language of Medaber opposite him. Okay. Derech tefillah, the way of prayer. You could do it. V'yachol is ba'al al cholim b'refein. You're able to pray about sickness within sick people in refeinus. Nearly up in the Birkei Yosef and the Magen Avraham. The lokam machmir medavka b'klal the klal b'shemet tefillah. Not like people are machmir only put in shemet tefillah. V'yomer refein al ploni ben ploni refhealing please ploni the son of ploni. Refuah shlem full healing. V'sol sharchol the yisol and admits the other sick people of Israel. The honeybee shalom b'fanav is only on in front of him. On b'fanav ain't so you don't have to mention his name. Snail Rabba. Also, Rosalomer, Afilu Momero, Derech Tfilim, if you say it with in the way of prayer, if you do an entire thing, an entire mizmor, it's no good. Ukashainu Omer Derech Tfilim, he's not saying in the way of prayer, Gam La Ga, Osir Afilu Vazagecha, then even according to the gods, also even to save one pasuk. It's from the Pri Megadim and the B'Shem Elosh Nedelosh. Kofi Dayan. Birkas and Shanim, the bracha of Baruch Aleinu. Tzarach Lomer Ba V'Yamas Gesham. You have to say it in the winter. The Saint Talamat, you have to say it in Talamat. Umaskil in the Shol Mata B'Chutz Lars, when you start to ask rain in the Chutz Lars, the Tvilas Arbus and the Marv Shel Yom Shishim Yom Shishim, and the 60th day Achad Kufas Tishrei, after the Kufa of Tishrei. V'Yom Tekufa Hu B'Chlal Ashishim, and the day of the Tekufa is included in the Shishim. This is from Hagos Maimoni Parak. Be'eretz Yisrael Maskil L'Shol Milil Shvi B'Mar Cheshbon. On Eretz Yisrael we start asking from the 7th of Mar Cheshbon. V'Shol in Ad Tfilos HaMincha Shel Erev Yom Tov Rishon. Shol Pesach. We ask until we get to the prayer of Mincha of Erev Yom Tov of Pesach. V'Misham Ve'elech Poskim L'Shol, and then on we stop asking. Hashanim of the years, and the language of the sanctuary from your good, the Magen Avraham B'Shem Arash Rishal, Masira Rika Kasa Mituva, it says you shouldn't say Mituva, you should say Mituva in the Sidari. But Tfilas Arbus in the Marav, I'm Berlacha, look at the Berlacha. Shal Yom Shishim, the 68th one, but Tfilas Arbus from Maskil and Yom Shishim, the Marav of, we start saying we start the 60th day. Then the Shamish and the Tennis should announce after Kaddish that before prayer, Talamat, you should say Talamat, but for the you do the Lomer saying Talamat, they know to say the same Talamat. So say it right after the Kaddish before this prayer. From there, Chachayim. The Imlo, the Hichus, if you didn't announce Afafik and Yom, still you should say it, saying Talamat. Hashishim, 60 days, Klomer. Yom Shenafu Bo HaTekufa, the day when the Tekufa is. So the Tekufas are like the end point. So it's the shortest day, the longest day, the middle day, and the other middle day when you're going back. So you go from the shortest day to the longest day, you'll hit a middle. So there's two equal days, the two equinoxes. So there's an equinox, and then one side an equinox and the other way. As you go from one equinox to the other equinox, as it's going up, then it will go up to the highest day and then go down, and then it will go down again as it comes back to the next as it returns to this first equinox. I mean, obviously it's going forward, but I mean it's going to go back to it's going to go again, hit the highest point and the lowest point. Sorry, I'm saying this wrong. The day gets longer, and then it starts at an equinox. That's one tekufa. The day gets longer, then it gets to the highest point. That's the second tekufa. The day after it hits the longest day, then it's going to go down. It's going to start going down. At some point, it's going to hit another equinox. It's going to go equal because it's going down. And eventually, it's going to get equal. So then that's the third tekufa. The fourth tekufa is when it gets to the lowest point, the winter, and it's the shortest day. That's the fourth tekufa. and it'll go back to the first equinox, and everything repeats. Okay, anyway, but the point is that 60 days after that is when Yom Shalav B'Gol is the group of Mechash Mechal Sheshim. But people at the group of no fellows B'Chat Yom, even if the group falls in the middle of the day, or afterwards, Rashi Gitzas Kodem just has to be a little before the Lila. And then you count that part as the day. And you count 59 days after that. The Olam Shnei Yom Ben Tekufa L'Shela is always 2 days between the Tekufa and the Shela, meaning if in terms of weekdays. The Magen Avram. If the Tekufa was on a Sunday, Hashela B'Tfilas Arvish Sheach on Yom Revin, then the request is going to be on the Marv, which is applicable to Wednesday. Eretz Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael, the Sham Tzarach L'Gasham, because then you need the grain. Shigavo Hum Mikol Arutz, because it's higher than all the other lands. Masha'in Kem Begola, which is not true in the exile. But Anabel Chutzlaretz and Anabel Chutzlaretz and not in all of it Chutzlaretz. Basar B'nei Gola, we go by the Gola people, the people of Gola, the bubble of bubble as we normally go. Kain Eretz Ben Eretz Yisrael, B'Chutzlaretz Ol Hepach. Okay, so we go by the bubble way of doing things, even though we're not in bubble, and therefore the Tekufa should be different, but still we go by bubble. Ben Eretz Yisrael b'Chutzlaretz, still the son of Eretz Yisrael, someone who lives in Eretz Yisrael goes to Chutzlaretz. All the Hepachor, this Chutzlaretz person goes to Eretz Yisrael. Im daita b'tzol shan l'chaz, if his mind is within a year to return, shol b'makom he goes ask like his place, whatever his place is doing. Im daita l'achar shanim, if his das is to stay after a year, shol b'makom shehusham, he asks like the place where he is there. After yesh lo isha b'an v'es, even though he has a wife and kids in his house. King cause of Prima Kaddish is the Prima Kaddish says, behavior Prima Gana, the Prima Gana brings him. The Besefer Birkas Yosef, the book of Birkas Yosef says, Hiskim B'Shem Makamagadol, and agrees with the name of many Agrolim, Das Mariaz, the name of the Mariaz, Guta, and Maria Molcho. The Kul Echad Yishol Kivene Yirshin, himself that each person should ask like the people of the city that he's found in. The local Prima Kaddish like the Prima Kaddish. Meaning you should always go like the place you're in. And now like fine. I am Sham there. L'chor medivri haber eatim l'chor from the words of there. Here's the amount of the him ma'iri dafka be'ein daita l'chaz. They're talking specifically where his mind is not to come back. B'tzorach l'ayim b'tshuvas devar Shmuel. You have to ayim the b'tshuvas or Shmuel b'shefi on Aaron. Yisham l'chor because there is their source. Milel Shvi from the 7th of Marchashun, but the Evadim Lo Shal, the Master, also if you didn't ask them, we would have to repeat if you didn't say Saint Salamazar. The end of the Arvis of Shabbat Shkolish, not the same as of the Marv Shkolish. The Shamatam Bisham, the Ein Maskad Shemel Kolish Malay, Kolish Malay, they're the reason why Marv is not so, you don't repeat why Marv is because you can't be Mefadish. The stand can't sanctify the new moon at night. King calls it Besefer Birka Yosef says, similarly says the Besefer Besefer Yosef, Besefer Zechar Avram. Mitzad the Shalol Chazer, the Zechor Avram says side you shouldn't repeat. B'diavad ukedas halachos ketanos, and like the opinion of the halachos ketanos. Chelik Aleph Simonai Gimel, the first portion of Simonai Gimel will come up Ba'azkara, and just like Ba'azkara and Sham. Al Midivrim Kam Achronim, but the word from the words of many Achronim Shavisi Lo Mashkim, it's not Mash this way. And you ask until Mincha. Klumer, from Ad B'chal, and you include it until then, you ask until Mincha. The Ein Chilik B'Psika Bein Eretz Yisrael L'Chatzor. There's no difference in making a break between Eretz Yisrael and Chatzor. You're meaning both stop at the Mincha of Erev Yom, of 4 Yom, of Erev Pesach. Okay, let's do Beis, and then we'll see the Be'er Achos. Single people who wanted to rain, when they need rain, in the summertime. In Shol and also B'Yachot you can't ask it in the B'Yachot Hashanim. Elif B'Shomer Tefillah, and you should ask it in B'Shomer Tefillah. Tefillah in here, if it's a full city, a big city, Ninveh is as big as Ninveh or Eretz Achas Kula or full land. Kamov Bisvard, for example, in France, B'klal completely, or Ashkenaz B'klal, or Poland completely, or Ashkenaz yet. Ki Yechidim Dam, they can still count as Yechidim, V'Shemei Tefillah, and you should do it in Yishmei Tefillah. Ein Sholin also. After you see, after Izel the comment, even though it says later on, V'Simen Kaf Yates, Dim HaYatzarach L'Parnas Omra B'Berkos Hashanim, if you need for sustenance, you say it in Berkos Hashanim. Shani Parnasa Dehu Shehu Davar Tzarach L'Kol, that's different Parnasa that you, something which is needed for everyone. Ve'imbo Hezek L'Shaman doesn't hurt anyone. Abu Matzor Yeshvo Hezek L'Shar Haratzos, but rain has damage for other lands, it's from the Ran. B'Shemei Tefillah, saying Shemei Tefillah. And Yura Delafizah, it seems according to this is from the Bach. The Kol Shekain is Sheyesh Lanu L'Shol Matzah B'Shemei Tefillah. We're sure we should ask for Matzah in Shemei Tefillah. After Zayim Marchesh Ben after Zayim Marchesh Ben Obein Pasach Natzar, so between Pasach and Shavuos. B'Makomos Latzrichon L'Kach, in place which need it, they should be asking in Shemei Tefillah. The Ha'afilu B'Tekuvas Tam, because even in Tekuvas Tam is the Siman Klolahem, which is a bad sign. Sholim b'Shemei Tefillah, we still ask in Shemei Tefillah. Okay. So therefore, meaning even at a bad time, if you need the rain, you need it, then therefore you should ask. So these places need it after Marchashba. Because of Taz, right? How the Tzibur Motul has found b'Shemei Tefillah. The Tzibur is motul to pray in Shemei Tefillah. The Hainu Kishim Mispalim Malach, which is only when they're saying it quietly. Avolu Yomer also Shlil Tzibur. The Shlil Tzibur shouldn't say it Kol Ram in a loud voice. Feel b'Shemei Tefillah, even the Shemei Tefillah. Minug Kayom Shomer Shlil Tzibur Shemei Tefillah. Minug nowadays Shlil Tzibur does say it in a loud voice when the Prima God Mishayach on him. Abul Einu Omer saying Talamatar, L'Chod doesn't say saying Talamatar, Kiyam B'Psukim Mishar and Shonos, he says it with Psukim with other languages. The Kvarnifas B'Tinar Mitzvah has a print in Sidurim. Ubishabbos Rosh Chodesh Yom Tov and Shabbos and Rosh Chodesh and Yom Tov Maskirin Sholosh Remidus V'Omer Mizmor Tehillim, because they mention the 13 midos and we say some sort of Mizmor of Tehillim. Shalmatuk in the East B'Sidurim, the Mizmor of rain, as it says in the Sidurim. This is from the Rosh. The berura says, B'Tfilas Arvis, we say it in Marv the before, on the 4th of January for us, or 5th, depending on the skufa. Have to leap here. Kozav Mechayalim writes, B'Shem HaPri-Chodesh, name of the Pri-Chodesh, the B'Diavad im Espal V'Shachach Talamater. If you prayed it and forgot to say Talamater, Monim Me'ez Leis, we count from 24 hours, and therefore you wouldn't have to go from the beginning. You don't use half days. You can use the 24-hour periods. Ulefiza, according to this, given the aim that Tekufas Tishrei Nofelas El B'Sholosh shows or B'Tesha shows, since the point of Tishrei either falls in the first 3 or the last 3. It either falls at 3 hours or at 9 hours, the land of the night or beyond more of the day. The Olam Ein Tzorach L'Chaz B'Tfilas Marav Yishon, you never have to go back in the prayer of Marav, the first Marav. Kivon Shadayan Lo Nishar Nishlam Shishim Yom, since hasn't finished the full 60 days, days if you count 24-hour periods. Similarly, if the Tekufa falls out in the day, Ein Tzorach L'Chaz Afilu B'Tfilas Shachros, you don't have to repeat even by the Shachros. Mispal. The Mispal Kodim shows Biyom. To someone who prays before 3 hours of the day. Occasion Nofels B'Tesha shows when it falls down in 9 hours Biyom and the day. Mispal Mincha Kodim B'Tesha shows, and you're praying Mincha before the 9 hours. Gam Kenei Tzorach Chaz, you still wouldn't have to repeat. I feel not understand his language, but Prima Godim Hevi B'Shem the Pri-Chodesh, they Prima Godim brings the Pri-Chodesh because of all of them writes them, Vein Yodea Im Lismo Chalav B'Zeh. I don't know if you can rely on them on this. Ki ain't a locha k'aviyez because the locha is not like the aviyez present with this. Avakoponim mechuyev l'spalmin. Maskli, at the very least, is obligated to pray again and make a stipulation. Could be similar to kaf zayin and say like if this, I'm praying with nadava, whatever. If I'm chayiv, this should be a prayer. If not, then this should be a nadava. As I say later on, Kov Zayin Sif Alef, I chum like there, but saving Machzik Bracha, and then look at Machzik Bracha, Pasuk do that. The Hedya, the look of Prichadash, she passes straight out like this, not like the Prichadash. Begam Balder Chaim, look at Lo Hizkir, Klaus Shum, Nafkamina, the Ver Chaim doesn't mention at all any Nafkamina Mina from him, Bein Yom Rishon, the Shayam, within the first day and other days. Begam Ver Gran, also from the words of the Gra, Mashra, look at the Psika Lay, the Ain, Allah, Karavia, Bazet, is, it's Mashra's Pasuk, it's charges him that doesn't pass like the rabbi about this. Adz Vilsim and until the mincha time you say it. V'im tab b'marav, if you made a mistake by marav leil b'yishon on the first day shall pass up. V'yispal tefillah shmona esrei shall chol. And he prayed his regular weekday marav. V'his weekday, yeah, the first night of Pasach. Remembered after he started saying Baruch Leinu, Shadin hu shitzarach l'sayim kolos Baruch Leinu, he has to finish that bracha. That's the rule. Moshe goes to Seven Meishtam B'Zachas. We're going to say later on Seven Meishtam Ain't no more Talam Lamatz. Then you wouldn't say Talam Lamatz at that point. Given Shigam Hach ain't a moment since even the congregation is not saying it that. V'im Chol Hashela B'Yom Shabbos. If the request fell on Shabbos. But Tav is false. Shachol, you made a mistake and started davening regular weekday. But still Baruch Leinu started saying Baruch Leinu. Gam Kenin no more Talam Lamatz. You still wouldn't say even since the whole congregation hasn't started, since they're not praying for requests. And the single person is always constantly dragged after the congregation. So